We are less than a month away from the official AFL draft, and as the end of October nears, we will be doing our first ever Zero Access Footy Mock Draft.
Don't make it a whole thing. This is your mock draft.
No. This is our mock draft. This is our mock draft. This is our mock draft.
I want to take credit for it. I didn't put all the work that you did into it.
It's our mock draft.
But like you said, we're going to have a look at where we think players are going to be going for this year's AFL draft. So, send us off. What do you think?
It is just going to be a first round mock draft, and we have up to pick 23 in total. This will include no trades and no draft swapping, unfortunately, which probably will happen on the night, but obviously we will not be including it, at least in this edition.
Mm-hmm.
I do have all the picks absorbed and all that, and all the picks moved up and down. That's all been sorted. I am a good maths whiz. So, with pick 1, you can kick us off.
You want me to kick
West Coast Eagles.
West Coast Eagles, the biggest shock of the day. Willem Duursma goes number 1. It's pretty consensus, as we mentioned in episode 36 of the Zero Access Footy podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Willem Duursma is expected to go number 1. He's basically got the highest upside in talent right now. West Coast are going to probably start him as a half-backer, use his effectiveness and his vision with his foot to produce off that half-back line, and then over time will find himself into the midfield, expected to, at the very least, alongside with Harley Reid and hopefully a young core of talent.
Great athlete as well, and from Gippsland, so is not that Vic Metro ability to leave, which helps West Coast, I think, significantly. Pick 2, Gold Coast. Obviously, West Coast make a bid on Zeke Uwland. Gold Coast match it, absorbs their first 3 picks, which would have been 15, 18, and then 24. That results in them getting all those absorbed. There's also the 10% discount in the first round. They get pick 43 in return. He's a fantastic player, Zeke Uwland. Missed a lot of this season with a back injury, but showed so much last year. Great kick, damaging, can see a target not many can, and will certainly play on that outside and really help that Gold Coast halfback/wing position, given the likes of Rioli, Noble, and Lockie Weller are all sort of leaving and, on the back end of their careers, and Braden Free only just left.
It's just crazy that they've managed to produce an NGA talent at the right time for their exact need.
Oh,
at their peak of their powers.
They have got more NGA players over the last 5 years than any other team has drafted in total, it feels like.
Yeah.
And they're all top 20 prospects.
Yep.
It is ridiculous.
What are they doing at the Gold Coast? They're just digging up talent.
They're doing an Essendon. They have to be taking steroids or something. That's the only way they could produce this much talent.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
It's the only way. I'm being dead set.
All right. Now the questions really kick in, because number 3 could go many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see West Coast, presumably if they keep the pick, again, no trades, none of that, where do you see West Coast using this pick?
Well, I believe Sullivan Roby's biggest competitor in terms of being a draft bolter was Clayton Oliver. So, Clayton Oliver in his draft, what pick did he go?
I can't remember.
Pick 4.
Pick 4.
He's going one before pick 3. West Coast takes
you had
Sullivan
someone
Roby.
else here. I'm almost certain you had someone else here
Nope.
before.
I did
Am
not
I
have
just-
anyone else here.
Wow. I actually did not. When we were filming 36, I thought I'd found it somewhere else. Maybe I just found it from you.
Who did you think I had?
I think it was someone. I could have been Dyson Sharp. I don't know.
No, I definitely didn't have Sharp that high.
Because I remember number 4. I remember who you had at 4. I just clearly didn't remember 3. So I must have been quoting you unintentionally.
I'm that
but
good
Sullivan
apparently.
Roby is who you've got at going number 3, which is an interesting pick.
I think it's kind of same in terms of Reid, in terms of that forward half player. However, I think Reid, you'd almost want more midfield time rather than forward time, even though you can isolate him deep in the pocket. But I think for Roby, he's got the size, which is what West Coast need. They don't have anyone who's got the size to be able to play AFL immediately, and I think they need that. I don't think they can deal with someone who's going to develop for a little while at waffle level. They need someone who's going to be able to play immediately. And in terms of the rest of the list, aside from maybe a key defender, there's no one else, in my opinion, that genuinely could play at AFL level immediately. So I think for them, it fills a short-term need, and he also has really high potential.
What a bolt that would be for him to go cut from his
Outside
Dandenong
of the
Stingray side to pick 3 in his draft. That's insane. And hopefully a story that will be told in the near future. Number 4, though, we finally move away from West Coast,
Yes.
or the coasts in general,
Mm-hmm.
and we go to Richmond. They have pick
Yes.
4 now.
Yep.
Originally pick 3.
Mm-hmm.
Or originally pick 2, technically, before the Australia Compo and the Gold Coast bid. But number
Yes.
4, Richmond is taking
Sam Grill.
Sam Grill. A
He-
name that's popped up occasionally on my end.
Early in the draft, I'm talking like July, August, he was my favourite player. He is quick, he is fast, he's agile, finished really well in the 20-metre sprint and in the 2K time trial, which just furthered his stocks. I think there might be some questions of whether he can play midfield minutes at AFL level, but I think in terms of the assets he does have, it allows him to play at other positions. He could be an outside runner, maybe on a wing, or in my opinion, I think he could be a really good halfback flanker to start with. I think he can follow the likes of Darcy Wilmot, where he plays as a really quick halfback flanker, can use his ball use, and then I think compared to Darcy, he has the ability to play like he did for Oakley in the middle. And I think that's what can separate him. I think when you consider what Richmond want, you got a midfield potentially of 4 players in the next 5 years of being Grill, Josh Smiley, who they drafted last year, Sam Lawler, and Taj Hodden. If I'm a Richmond fan, I am creaming my pants at that. That is 4 genuine stars at the top end of the draft.
Yeah.
I would be over the moon with that if I'm a Richmond fan.
Well, Sam Grill has been outside of the top 10 in some mock drafts and some predictions. So to have him in the top 5
I'm a
is
big fan
very
of his.
interesting
I,
pick.
I think that speed, when you consider as a prospect, you want something that separates you from just the general pack. I think his speed and his athleticism really provides that to him.
Beautiful. And the next pick, despite a few changes through the rest of it, is another bid. This is going to be the Brisbane bid at pick 5.
Daniel Annable.
There you go.
The
He
animal.
is from the Brisbane Academy.
Yep.
What picks are they absorbing?
So it'd be their pick 17, 23, and 44. They all get absorbed, and Brisbane get pick 46 back. It obviously still got the 10%. The leftover picks match it up.
Yeah.
And I think for Annable, replaces what probably Lachie Neale will do. Smaller midfield, in and under beast, can get the hands to outside midfielders like Ashcroft, like McCluggage, like Bailey, like Rayner, who are then going to be able to fit to hit the scoreboard. That's not really Annable's game, but I think in terms of direct replacement, that is what Lachie Neale will be. So he doesn't need to play immediately, but if Lachie Neale maybe moves back home or just eventually slowly fades away from the game, he fits in perfectly.
That was gonna be my question. Will Dan find a spot in the side immediately?
No.
Signs look like no, but he's not a bad one to have.
He is going to have a while to develop in a good team as well.
Yeah.
So I think for him, it only suits him, to be honest.
There you go. Pick 6.
Another bid.
This one is another bid.
Richmond do a little bit.
A little bit of a dropper,
Dylan
but not
Patterson.
too much. Dylan Patterson, yeah.
Yep. Gold Coast's outside player. I'm not as familiar with Patterson as I am with some other people, simply because I don't care about Gold Coast and I don't care about their NGAs, given they have about 1,000 a year. They've got 5.
They all kind of blend together at some point.
5 this year.
Yeah, they all kind of just blend
It's
in. And
actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, they should not have 5 players in this year's draft that are simply tied to them. It is so annoying. But anyway, I can list them out there. Uwland, Patterson, Adesol, Murray, and Coulson. But like, it's pretty
the
clearly
two prominent
Uwland
ones
and
are Patterson and
yeah.
Uwland.
Yeah. To be honest, fleet-footed is the best way I can describe him. Can get out of traffic pretty well, and I'm pretty happy with him just being a shit player, to be honest. Don't let Gold Coast get any better.
You hear that?
Yeah.
You hear that, Dylan? Behm wishes the worst for you. But the next pick after that, finally, after what should have been their second pick in a row, after 2 bids in their way, Richmond get their second pick. Who are they going to be taking, Behm?
Well, I mentioned that they need some more outside players in our actual podcast that you can go check out. Should be the link in the description, episode 36, I believe.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, 36.
They need some outside players. And who best but Josh Lindsay?
Mm-hmm.
If Sam Grill doesn't necessarily work out early, I think Lindsay can. He can see the ball, and if he can play, he will play off halfback. He will be able to see the game in front of him. He'll be able to develop. He'll be able to learn, and he can use that damaging left foot. I think he is a great decision maker and has the best kick in the draft, even though a lot of people say Zeke Uwland. We've seen more from Josh Lindsay, super high in the kid. I think he will be a perfect player in what we want in 2026 football.
Yeah, I love a deadly left foot kicker. Love that. It's
Colby
fantastic to watch.
McKercher-esque.
Colby McKercher-esque. That's what it
Yep.
is. I don't think McKercher is 183. I think he's smaller than 183, but that just says more to the upside of Josh Lindsay. So we finally get through Richmond. But that doesn't mean we're done with the bids.
No.
We've got pick number 8, which is going to be the first father-son.
So Essendon beat absolute bitch to Carlton, which you cannot blame them for either, to be honest. And they bid on Harry Dean. Carlton, I think, are very interesting. When you consider teams that might trade back, they've got pick 9 and 11 originally. That gets pushed back before this bid to 12 and 15. So 12 and 14. And if they would, in this situation, which is what I've done, use both of them to bid on Harry Dean, it would end up resulting with pick 18 back, which I think would be okay for them. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they do trade one of these back to get some extra picks so they don't have to use 2 first-round picks to bid on him. But super athletic, great interceptor, can play next to Jacob Weitering from the day dot, and I think he fits really nicely alongside Carlton, considering they're building for the future.
He's got such a fantastic not just a fantastic upside, but the fact that his future seems really set at Carlton if all things go the way they wanted to. Really excited for Carlton fans with Harry Dean. We move on to pick number 9 now. This is going to be Essendon's first pick. Who are they going to be taking with pick number 9?
We've got Sam Cumming
from
South Australia. I think I like him. He's going to be that sort of forward half midfielder that you consider when you look at the likes of what Murphy Reid did. I think he can very much replicate that. But obviously you can say pick 9 versus pick 17 last year. It's a fair difference.
Yeah.
I think he is that sort of midfielder who can damage in the forward half, but also who you want in the midfield. And I think when you consider Perkins hasn't really worked, Caldwell is starting to be more of a midfielder. He will play early in that forward half alongside Kako, but I'm just not sure as to where Essendon see their own midfielders, which is the big concern, because I do have them taking a tall at pick 10 in Cooper Duft-Tytler.
I was going to say, we may as well go to number 10 now, because Cooper Duft-Tytler is going to be the biggest faller in terms of projected picks in a lot of draft boards. CDT has been mentioned and been one of the bigger names of this draft for a really long time. So to see him go all the way outside of single digits in your mock draft is a really interesting decision. But he lands at the place I expect him to be the most, whether it's through trades or not. So if he falls to Essendon, I think that's probably the best scenario for Essendon, because I think they've got their eyes locked on him. I think he's going to be the one that they really go, we need this guy. We'll wait and see whether that's the case or not. But with CDT, I feel like there's not much we can really say that hasn't been said already. We've mentioned that he is a ruck that is trying to. Some of the people covering him and his rise have used the word revolutionize in the way he does his ruck work. It's more just to describe that he's an agile, tall bloke, really. That's really the best way to describe.
Great way to dumb it down, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes you got to do it to
Yeah.
make people understand. But CDT
Like
himself, exactly. I'm the dumb man for dumb people. All right, that's my job here. You're the smart guy.
I can't believe I'm doing a podcast with a dumb man for the dumb people.
Hey, I'm here just to get us a larger audience. All right, that's what I do. That's what I do.
That was my job.
No, you're just here to be nerdy and all that.
But,
We've got though.
I made a fat joke and you didn't get it.
God damn it. It just makes sense, doesn't it? CDT. His role will either be as their initial ruck or as a leading forward. I see it being more of a ruck role for him because they've got Caddy and they've got another taller bloke. Why am I forgetting the other name? There's
Peter
another.
Wright,
Well, Peter Wright, yes, but there's a younger bloke.
Nick Bryan.
Could be him. Either way, I think they've got more players in the forward line that they're looking to build up. CDT will basically, I mean, they were using Todd Goldstein and they lost Sam Draper. It's clear where they probably put him. So CDT, I think Essendon is going to be the place that he goes.
Melbourne
spot
kick
on
off
with that one, sorry.
Yeah, Melbourne kick off their back-to-back picks with another tall and arguably the best genuine key forward in this draft in Aiden Schubert. Score involvement's really high, gets around the ground, gets involved in the play, disposal's really high, kicks goals. What more could you want from a prospect as a key forward? I think there might be some queries about why they would take Schubert, considering they've just got in Myercheck. They've still got Van Rooyen. They've got Aiden Johnson, who played a few games this year, and Matthew Jefferson, who debuted this year, who both of him and Van Rooyen were first-round picks as key forwards. Sure, I can understand that. However, Matt Jefferson seems to really not have found his place in this team, and I think he could potentially be experimented down back. And I think when you consider long-term, you're not going to want Myercheck and Van Rooyen. You're going to want someone who can develop, and he can also play some backup ruck as well.
Fantastic. Aiden Schubert, really close to Cooper Duft-Tytler too. Two very similar players.
Yep.
Dyson Sharp is your number 12, also to Melbourne.
Yeah. I think they need that sort of off-field. When you consider they went for Jack Steele after trading away Clayton Oliver, they're going to want those more leadership-type players. Dyson Sharp is that.
Yeah, I mean, skipper of the national champions. Like, it's pretty hard to get more of a leader than that.
Yep, 100%. And when you consider he can play midfield, compare alongside as a bigger body to Langford, Lindsay, and Windsor, who probably aren't that bigger body, I think that pairs well pretty nicely. Can play forward half as well, which only adds to his game.
Fantastic. Hawthorn have a one-off pick in here.
This is a team that I wouldn't be surprised trades back.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. They made the trade with Carlton, obviously, to try get better picks for the merit trade that ended up failing. I wouldn't be surprised if they try get maybe like picks 23 and 24 from North Melbourne. Would you be happy with that?
Depends who we
Doesn't
get,
matter
really.
because it's not happening in this trade. In this
Yeah,
draft.
no, you're right.
Exactly.
We don't care about that right now.
Exactly. I tried to fool you.
Yeah. Again, dumb person.
Yeah. I think Hawthorn's list needs a really interesting to look at because they don't need small forwards. They don't really need any defenders. Maybe they need a genuine lockdown small, but there isn't really anyone like that at this level. I think they need a pure inside midfielder when you consider they didn't get merit. But then again, they've got Huswain and they've got Cam McKenzie who are on the outside. So I went with Oliver Graves. Not the first person to do it. Won't be the last. Big-bodied in and under midfielder. Very much comparison to Josh Smiley from last year, who they wore the same number, same height, same team. Very like identical players. And so he was almost in the Hawthorn Academy as well, I believe.
Which would be quite funny.
Which would have been very ironic. But again, just sort of fits that short-term need potentially. I think he could play, but I don't know if he will, given they're going to get Will Day back.
Yep. GWS now.
Yeah.
Take,
A draft bolter.
Yes, that's exactly right. Who do they take?
Oscar Taylor.
Taylor.
The real riser from the draft combine.
There's so many Taylors in this draft.
He was going to be drafted as a winger, and I think you're pretty happy with that if you're GWS, considering the likes of Cumming and Perryman have left you over the last couple of years. They're only getting older, and I think when you consider maybe Lockie Whitfield could potentially be on the outer in the next couple of years, Stephen Cornelio is going to be out, given they just got in Clayton Oliver. And I think they don't need any small forwards. They've got in Cadman and Hogan now as their genuine key forwards. They don't need key backmen because they've still got Lee Kalia. I think an outside wingman who can help their running game, which is what they want to pride themselves on, that are in Tsunami, I think he fits alongside really nicely. And they traded up to try get him, and he could have been available at their pick anyway. But I think they'd be pretty happy with this type of prospect.
Yeah, I think he fits very well with the strong backline that they're trying to really, really continue to build themselves on. Of course, as we know, Orange Tsunami, it starts from the back and makes its way forward. So it needs to be strong down there in order to get that strong tsunami-like attack. Very, very good pick, I reckon.
West Coast to get the best WA talent in Jacob Farrow. Halfback flanker, great kick, smart footballer, and I think that's what they need. He fills a immediate position, in my opinion, over Tom Cole, who I just don't like anymore. Liam Duggan is probably going to get kicked out of captain. Whether they drop him, I would be very surprised, but it might mean Liam Baker can get more up the ground and potentially play even more midfield minutes, which I think really helps them. And I think he could genuinely follow in that path of left-footed halfbacks who turn into midfielders. Hayden Young, Ed Richards, Jordan Dawson, exact types of players.
So many of them.
even someone like this, and this is going a bit nuts, Luke Hodge.
That is nuts.
Bit nuts, but Luke Hodge.
That is very nuts.
B-Tech, maybe even C-Tech version of Luke Hodge.
You know what? I like it. I like the guts to have that type of call.
Left-footer, smart, could be captain-esque material. Like Jacob Farrow as a prospect, very much so.
That's a lot of high praise for West Coast's third pick.
Yeah.
in a draft. That is
I think Farrow could be taken almost by Essendon in the top 10.
Maybe.
I think he could very well
We'll
go
see.
there.
Now we go to the doggies at pick 16.
This one's a bit of a, just a
necessary
perchance pick.
Yeah.
I've niced the doggies here. They get Xavier Taylor, a defender.
They get very nice because that's exactly what they need.
Yeah.
He's the best option for
he
what they
probably
need.
won't fall here, but if he does, they'd be licking their lips at him.
They'd be like, I can't believe it.
Yeah,
This off-season, perfect off-season.
Yeah. So, I mean, he just fit in nicely alongside Lobb, Bustling, and O'Donnell. Replaces sort of what Jure did, maybe, I think, is an option for them. To be honest, he's better than Nick Caulfield.
So you take what you can do with Xavier Taylor, absolutely. I think Bulldogs take this and run if it happens.
Oh, 100%.
Adelaide, though, moves on to the Dandenong Stingrays captain, Noah Hibbins-Hargraves.
Mm-hmm.
What's the thought with him? Because I haven't heard too much about him.
His nickname is called Hyphen, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that makes sense. Hibbins-Hargraves got a hyphen. Fair.
Yeah, that's
big creative
bit
stuff
on the
here.
nose. Bit on the nose. I quite like him. He's that very prototypical what you expect out of a player in terms of who they're going to be. He's young. He's born in November, so he's going to be like turning 18 3 days before the draft, which is kind of funny. Got hit with an injury a few times. That sort of ruined his season in the end, but had some insane performances, 29 touches and 5 goals against the GWV team and 4 goals against WA. So that shows the high-end talent. However, that injury sort of hampered his ability to show at the combine his athletic traits. I still think Adelaide, when you consider they missed out on Petrarca, when you consider Rankin and Rochelle might be wanting to play more midfield minutes, sort of can just have that exact role as another player.
Yep. Beautiful. So that's going to be an interesting one because, reading the discussion of him being a top-end high talent is very interesting for Noah because, I've not heard all that much from him. Just the injury seemed to have kept him out.
Can you believe this is the 10th pick without a bid?
So much for that because number 18 is a bid.
Yeah. Technically, no. So this is the
No,
pick
I get what
that
you're saying. It's a
this is the
make-up pick.
Yeah, so this is the pick that can't get the bid that they made on Harry Dean.
Mm-hmm.
What's their biggest list need?
Everything.
What is their biggest list need?
Coach.
Yes. What is their other biggest list need? A genuine small forward.
Yeah, there you go.
Lucky
Eddie
Doverston.
Betts
Here he is, Lucky Doverston. Genuine goal snake, game breaker, kicked in an insane amount of goals this year.
Well, you have been really on him during this draft period. You've really, really liked
it. It was just ridiculous how many goals he kicked. Let me get up the numbers here if I can find them. 53 goals this season.
Oh my God.
At 38 for the Rangers team. He is insane as a goal snake. Won the agility test with a time of under 8 seconds, which is 4th all time.
Oh my God.
So
he is going to be an excitement machine.
He will absolutely fit alongside this Carlton small forward team along the lines of Jesse Motlop and Ben Ainsworth now. And I think they're building a pretty good young team, Carlton. So they'd be happy with this. Geelong bid on Essendon's Adam Swade. When you consider that they missed out on Marshall and Kerno, then they might want to go for something different, and that's what Geelong do. Adam Swede is going to be Dion Prestia 2.0 if he reaches that absolute best of his talent. Essendon are able to do this because they have 2 picks back-to-back, which after all the other bids get pushed into pick 21 and 22. So I think for them, they're pretty comfortable with that. Not going to be any issues. I believe this was the trade that they did. Oh, no, this was the Draper compensation. That's right. So, yeah, just a contested beast. This is why I sort of had concerns about them taking a genuine in and under player like a Dyson Sharp or like an Ollie Greaves, because they're already going to get one later in the draft. Really good player. Might take a bit of time to develop, but you can sort of do that given they've got some short stops at the moment. But Geelong's actual pick, Mitch Marsh. Key forward, but sort of more of a medium body. But his athletic traits, he can run, he can get around the ground like you wouldn't believe. And when you consider that Geelong sort of want that player, to get him at pick 20 when he was considered a top 15 prospect for a lot of the year they would be licking their lips at this.
Yeah, and considering they've just gone after Adam Sween, the fact that they've managed to still get someone of pretty good use for him. Look,
Yeah.
I know we're only in the 20s, but it still feels like there's a bit of depth in this draft.
It drops off significantly shortly. Don't worry.
It
does.
Don't
But
worry.
Yeah, for Mitch Marsh, Geelong want that athletic trait. To consider what they did with Mark Blitzarves, he's certainly not as big as Mark Blitzarves, but I think he can play that role immediately. And given they don't like Ollie Henry anymore, and Paddy Dangerfield has played that forward half position, he won't be able to do that forever. Mitch Marsh plays that role eventually.
Fair enough. And they love to make young talent just absolutely do crazy things on the field. They somehow turn into absolute gold every time. So I wouldn't imagine that Mitch Marsh becomes a household name.
Mm-hmm.
Freo.
Yes.
They have pick 21. Who are they picking up?
They're taking Louis Emmett.
Louis Emmett. Not a name I've heard too much of either.
Played for the Oakley Chargers, so it was a Vic Metro boy. But I think Fremantle has sort of started to get a bit more comfortable with taking those plays, considering they're trying to build a successful team when they consider they took Murphy Reid. He's a ruck forward, and given they traded away Liam Reddy, they have said they wanted to target another one.
A ruck forward?
Yeah. So when you can...
Freo.
Their list manager came out and said they want to target another ruckman, considering they traded away Liam Reedy. I think a player who's going to have time to be able to develop, considering they might even trade away one of them.
Maybe.
Which is my bold prediction.
That is a very bold prediction, especially after how
They
they
will take this
didn't get
bloke.
rid of him.
Yep.
It's
Well,
Sean Darcy at least.
Yeah, well, Sean Darcy's dog shit.
Which is why I'm surprised you've said one of them instead of Sean Darcy.
Yeah, well, they'll take a ruckman, and Louis Emmett's arguably the best available ruckman.
Yeah, okay, which is fair. With that explanation, it makes sense. I just find it very surprising if they were looking to replace Liam Reedy.
Mm-hmm.
Do they really need to?
No, you can't just have Jackson and Darcy as your two ruckmen.
I guess so.
You got to have someone else.
Yeah, you may as well. I just think they've improved their backline through the trade period with Judd McVie a slight bit. He's a ruck forward, so he does also help out in that forward line rotation. Because I don't see too many spots of improvement for Freo, I think Freo, if as a neutral, I can live with it. I think it's an okay pick. I don't know, and considering how low in talent the draft is,
you don't know.
Yeah, I could have just cut everything except for the I don't know part. There you go.
Exactly.
Get to work, editor.
Hawthorn bid on Sydney's Max King, not St Kilda's Max King, but Sydney's Max King.
Yes.
They will be able to match this with their two picks in what will eventually become 27 and 28, considering it's pretty funny that they go back to back. And they also get pick 32 back, which I think for them is sort of nice, considering they've got a couple other academy boys that they're going to have to bid on later. Considered really early, high up on many people's draft boards earlier in the year, but has sort of slowly faded away as his form has dropped off. Isaac Heaney, but BTEC.
Which is, I know for
Athletic.
a fact, the words of Dylan Alexander.
Yeah, but not the BTEC version.
Not
That's
the
my
BTEC
version.
part.
Yeah.
It was
He's just going to be a shit version of Isaac Heaney. Athletic, can play forward, might be able to play some midfield minutes, but will probably just play, if Isaac Heaney's playing in 2 years' time, if Isaac Heaney's forward, Max King will be midfield. If Isaac Heaney's midfield, Max King will play forward.
Yep.
I'll just switch him.
Not a bad problem.
The final pick
Of the first round.
Of the first round in our first ever mock draft. Hawthorn select Harley Barker.
Harley Barker. Can we get a bit of... What the hell was that?
He was the... I don't know.
Can we get a bit of an explanation as to Harley Barker?
He was the opposite winger to Oscar Taylor.
Fantastic.
And he very much, in my opinion, has some great outside traits. Quick, can be pretty decent aerially, given his 188 centimetres. Sort of slowly started to build his way up the draft boards as well, which I think is pretty good. Unfortunately, did go down with an ACL injury, but I don't think Hawthorn need that immediate fix, considering they're trying to be at the top end next year.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll be able to let him develop and eventually could replace a Jarman MP or a Carl Amon or one of those types of players.
Yeah. Well, he's listed here from Rookie Me as a winger, so as you mentioned, the opposite side of Oscar Taylor. So the fact he was doing so well and then the ACL injury, it's a shame to see him go. down pretty low. But I think, yeah, Hawthorn's a nice place for him to land. And so I think despite his circumstances, some high upside for the bloke. Really, really excited to see what he can do if he does go to Hawthorn, especially in that environment. I think he could be really good.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see. That is the first edition of Behmy's mock draft. Behmy's round 1 mock draft.
Yes.
Look at you go. You're big draft guy. You're the big smart draft guy. I'm very proud of you.
Don't be woke.
But that is all we have got for this video. So I appreciate you all tuning in once again. And big thanks to Behm in this one. I mean, realistically, I should let you do the outro and do all the thank you for joining
I carry
me.
this shit, my
Yeah,
guy.
you should be telling me, thank you for joining me. Because
This
that's
is
what
like
I've
my
done in
5th
this one.
job.
This is, you do this
Yeah.
unpaid,
I
which is
babysit
crazy
you
as well.
for my first.
And I'd pay you absolutely nothing for it as well.
Yeah,
It's
you,
great.
you can't even pay for your own Mikey.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Zero Access Footy. I appreciate you guys once again for tuning in. And we'll see you all again for probably the next episode. Episode
Who
37
knows?
next week. Stay tuned in. Appreciate you all very much. I'll see you all very soon.
Peace.